Right, here we go. This is a Christmas movie with loads of Mexicans in it, including AC Slater from Saved by the Bell, who plays the dad. So the title of this one writes itself. From 2020, this is Feliz NaviDAD.
Feliz NaviDAD.
Oh, fuck off. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
This is David Morales and he's the main character.
Hi.
His wife's dead and he has a daughter called Noelle because it's Christmas. Luckily, David's sister Marissa has decided to put her entire life on hold and move in with him to help raise Noelle. Elsewhere in town, this guy Willard, whose wife is also dead, is excited because his daughter Sophie's home for Christmas. I wonder what happens in the end. Anyway, David's the principal at Noelle's school and he walks around doing stuff like this.
Take care of each other.
What?
Fuck off, David. Noelle's in some sort of bell-ringing club and they're practicing for the Frosty Festival. It's not going well, though, because they don't have a real music teacher. So they have to make do with David's friend, the baseball coach, Jesse Vargas.
And that's what's up.
Coach Vargas tells David that the kids need a real music teacher.
You know, music ain't my thing. I mean, I like my oldies, you know, but I'm not a music conductor.
Okay. Coach Vargas believes that with a real music teacher, they can crush it. Oh, God.
All right, I'm gonna see what I can do.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hold on. That's all right. See you later.
What a pair of Feliz Navi twats. Cut to Willard and Sophie, who are playing with toys.
I miss Mom.
Boring. Back at the Morales house, David's getting ready to start his second job as a delivery driver.
I'm sorry.
He does this every Christmas, saying it's because he needs the money, when in reality, he just doesn't want to hang around the house thinking about his dead wife.
Well, that makes sense.
So then we get this sickening montage of David doing his delivery rounds. Would he be this happy delivering parcels?
Of course he would.
I don't think so.
Anyway, his round inevitably ends with a delivery to Willard, where Sophie answers the door. She asks if he's got any cardboard boxes she can have, and he's like, yeah, then walks to his truck like this to get some. Let's see what's going on at the bell choir, shall we?
Yeah.
What is he doing? Twat.
Yep.
Now let's relax for a second, homies, and we'll hit it again.
I don't. Anyway, when the bell ringing stops, Noelle tells Coach Vargas they need to start an a cappella group, and he's got the perfect name for it.
Las Bocas Locas.
Yes. I don't know what it means, but it sounds fun.
What?
Yeah, that's Noelle's friend Charlotte, and it's unclear as to whether or not she's supposed to be disabled.
Excuse me.
I could tell you were thinking it.
That night at the Morales house, David's telling Marissa and Noelle about his day at work.
And then she sends me back to the truck to get extra boxes.
That is an incredible story.
Not really.
But then Noelle kills the mood by bringing out her dead mum's Christmas ornaments. Meanwhile, the rest of the bell choir bump into their rivals, the vocal locals, not to be confused with.
Las Bocas Locas.
And they just happen to be doing this on the street. They're like, oh no, they're really good. But Coach Vargas is like, don't worry, you'll be even better. Then in this ice cream shop, we find out that Noelle has set her dad up with an online dating profile. But who needs an online dating profile when you're a part-time delivery driver? You meet lots of women every day and you already know where they live.
Hi.
Hi.
He's like, how about some more cardboard boxes? And Sophie's like, yeah, thanks, even though this is massively creepy behavior.
It is.
Then he goes round this woman's Helen's house. She's the old school music teacher. And this happens. Yeah! 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 The next day, he finds another excuse to show up at Sophie's house, and it seems she's coming round to the idea of shagging the delivery driver / stalker. The next day, Noelle shows Marissa what she's put on David's online dating profile.
Hello, I'm a normal guy. If you think that's cool, let's meet.
What?
Unbelievable. But wait, somehow David's already got a match.
Hi.
Of course, the date is with Sophie.
Yes, of course.
When she gets there, she's like, I'm just doing this to practice dating before I go back to Phoenix. And he's like, oh, right, that's nice, thanks. But some good comes of it. It turns out Sophie is a musician, so she's going to be the new coach of Noel's bell choir.
Good.
Sadly, this doesn't mean we've seen the last of Coach Vargas.
Shit!
And David and Sophie agree to go on more practice dates. Would it be too cliche if he took her to a Mexican restaurant?
Nah.
Fuck off, Slater. Anyway, David touches Sophie's hand. She's like, no, David, these are practice dates, remember? And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. The next day at Sophie's house, we see her playing the piano. Clearly, this actress has done zero research for this role as a professional musician, as apparently she's never seen what someone looks like when they're playing the piano.
True.
Later, Noel just shows up at her house to show her how good she is at singing.
Feliz NaviDAD.
Bit weird, but Sophie's like, that's really good, let's work on it. And at the next bell choir practice, they sing the song as a group, while Sophie pretends to play the piano like this. David's really turned on by Sophie's fake piano playing, so invites her to his house for dinner later, where they don't actually eat any food, they just make it for David's family to eat at a later date.
Right.
After they finish that, David stares at her and touches her hand again. But because these are only practice dates, David's still meeting strangers online. And oh no, Sophie's walked in and seen him with a strange woman, so she's really upset. When David gets home, Noel reminds him that it's the Frosty Festival tomorrow and that he needs to pick up the bell-ringing gloves from the dry cleaners. And he's like, yeah, of course, don't worry. I'll get them after my last delivery driver shift. His last stop on that day is Sophie's house. He's like, I know you saw me on a date last night, but I only want to go out with you from now on. And she's like, doesn't matter now. I'm going back to Phoenix next week.
Next week?
Yes?
He's like, please don't go. Let's go for a walk. And she's like, okay, I'll meet you at the trailhead. And yes, this scene goes on and on and on. And then they kiss, yeah. But then David's like, shit, I forgot to get the gloves. And oh no, the dry cleaners are closed. At the Frosty Festival, the kids are like, Noel, where the fuck is your dad with our gloves?
Worst case scenario, the bell choir just performs barehanded.
But hang on.
No gloves, no bells.
Why?
They're antiques.
And?
Sweat and skin oil corrodes the brass and ruins the sound.
Oh, it's okay. David's managed to pick up some dishwashing gloves. But that woman's like, no, sorry, you can't use those either.
Really?
Really?
So Noel's like, cheers, Dad, you've ruined my big performance. And he's like, sorry. But just before showtime, Sophie has arrived with some bell-ringing gloves her dad happened to have lying around the house. So now they can perform. But first, it's the turn of the vocal locals.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
This is shit. But the crowd seem to love it. But now it's the turn of...
Las Bocas Locas!
Oh, God.
Feliz NaviDAD.
The crowd are seriously impressed by their incredible dance moves and everyone cheers. Then Noel drags her dad out on stage and starts singing the same song, but this time at him. Oh yeah, and everyone else joins in. So the Frosty Festival is a huge success. David and Sophie are getting together, as are Sophie's dad and the Bell Guardian. Oh look, David's brought Noel a guitar for Christmas. I wonder what she's gonna play.
Feliz NaviDAD.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, that's the end of the film. Just wanted to say a big thanks to everyone who supported me this year, everyone who's watched, liked, shared or commented, and especially to my Patreons. Very much appreciated. Happy New Year, everyone, and until next time.